At the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. He'll get this down to the 38. You look at this Eagle defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Again, it's Miller. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Here's Tua. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Tua sets up to pass it. Underneath for Miller. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Tua with a quick throw, caught out wide. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
George Pickens,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
You look at the Steeler defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line.
Throwing is Hurts.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal.
On the sneak, it's Hurts.
And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Jalen Hurts
scoring on the sneak from a yard out.
And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
A first down carry for Barkley. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there. Now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley with career touchdown number 126, the same number Jim Brown had during his 9-year career. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third.
There he goes left side.
Inside the 20.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there.
With his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurts.
And his throw is incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Slot man moves right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. The Eagles send out their punter now.
The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive.
And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts underneath to his tight end, Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Eagles have taken the lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
The Steelers sitting at 5-2 on the year. They come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Steelers are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them in the field. Hurts fumbles it.
And it's picked up by the Steelers, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Now Tua. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
All right, come on.
Tua, a final shot before half. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
Yeah, ready. All right, fellas, listen up. Ready,
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
ready.
Inside handoff now, Miller.
He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Ready.
Looking to pass. Tua. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From midfield, here's Tua. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Ready.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
Hey, come up 2. Come up
In
2.
motion
Come up
right,
2.
that's Collins.
Out.
On play action, here's Tua.
To a hit, and the ball is out.
And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
So this game tied at the half, and if you wondered who would come up with the first big play of this 3rd quarter, we have our answer.
Well, in basketball, you know how they tell you to have active hands defensively? I think the same thing applies here. Nice job there, prying the ball free. And now their guys have a chance to take the lead if they can put something together. The beauty of doing it in football, you don't get called for a foul if you hit their arms. Well, if you like the guys who run the ball, you're enjoying watching this. But the other guys, especially the defense coordinator, trying to figure out an answer on how to slow down the running game, I think maybe starts to call more blitzes, because you can call run blitzes in order to try and get more people to the point of attack.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a first down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5 now. Hurts. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved, because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll set up a throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
They begin with a run by Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Turbo 1, high. Turbo 1, high. Turbo 1, high.
Tua going to throw.
Got an open man. It's Pickens.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Escapes the defender. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 60 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch. I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that. And that really chips away at your confidence.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Ready.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll give it up the middle to Miller. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And his kick is good. And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21.
Well, they got the turnover and were able to drive it down, Charles, but ultimately in the end, the defense holds up, and they only come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of ground, but when they had to, they settled in and prevented the interception from leading to 6 points. Because you never want to see turnovers turn into any type of points against you, but better to give up 3 than 6.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Jensen. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 9.
They'll set up to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They go play action with Hurts.
He finds his man, complete. It's Jensen. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of. And, in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of. Trying to engineer a fourth quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with career touchdown number 128. He's now tied with Marvin Harrison for number 9 on the all-time list.
And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Tua sets up to pass it.
He's got it to Collins, complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Here's Tua. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Watson, Oscar.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa.
Got a man. It's Collins complete. We're following the play now. They're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Play action. Now it's Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Long. 20, TX. Hey, help!
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it.
That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. It's Sidney Brown with it. And the Eagles are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. So that a definite deflator there on the interception.
Yeah, you work your way down the field thinking you're in position for a go-ahead score. But all it takes is one errant throw, and this one winds up a turnover.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Throwing is Hurts. That is intercepted.
And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line.
Oh my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
Now Tua. Miller going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Second down, goal to go. Here's Tua.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Point after, right down the middle. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10.
Great. Set. Tiger swamp.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Here comes 2nd down.
Back to throw.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
Hey, easy, 63, bang.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
A little less than 40 seconds remaining. Here comes 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understanding where they are on the field?
Set.
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
He's back to throw. Towards the end zone for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was the big shot for the end zone. You've still got a little bit of time here. You have to expect we'll see another. And remember, no timeouts left. So if you throw it short of the end zone and you're tackled, that's going to be the ball game.
A big play here as the crowd noise rises. 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Hurts.
Oh, he's going to go for it all.
And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
As far as game-sealing plays go, not a lot come along that are more exciting or surprising than that. What an effort to get through and block it. And now you just kneel it out, Charles, and start the celebration.
And you know, on special teams throughout the week in practice, you work on different things. You think there might be a spot, maybe over a certain player, that you can send a guy to go block the kick. I wonder if that's what it was, or did they adjust during the game, or did he just make a special play? Doesn't really matter. Bottom line, It got done.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Steelers, they climb to 6-2 on the year as they close in on the midpoint of this 17-game schedule.
And they'll get to stay.